Hi guys. Ooh, I think that's definitely not how I look, but I'm here for it. I just thought I'd go live because I'm waiting to go live on my other page, which is my music page, because I'm a singer. Hi, Lamia. I just thought I'd come live on here because I'm all set up. So what I wanted to talk about today is eating the food that you enjoy. If you are trying to lose weight, the number one most important thing that you need to do is eat food that you enjoy. I used to do this thing all the time where I would decide to lose weight and then I would try to cut out every single thing that I enjoy because those are generally the things that I thought made me gain weight. But in reality, what made me gain weight was eating too much food. So if you want to lose weight, the first thing you need to do is start where you are. Don't think that you need to go from eating KFC and McDonald's or whatever else you might be eating to then eating only salad or only chicken, whatever, like chicken salad, chicken and broccoli, whatever you think in your mind is healthy. Just start where you are and cut down. Hi guys, hi. Yeah, start where you are and just cut down. Cut everything in half. Like I was talking to my friend yesterday and she realized that she was having like 4,000 calories worth of food because she was having like 4 coffees, which I don't drink coffee, but a lot of people do drink a lot of coffee and they add sugar and they add milk. Her coffees was 600 calories a day for the 4 coffees, like cappuccinos type thing. And then her lunch was a pizza, which is kind of wild. And then her dinner was like a 12-inch sub, which again, quite wild. But she could literally take her calories from 4,000 calories a day to 1,800 just by cutting her pizza in half and her sub in half. Hey guys, yeah, so I'm just talking about the fact that you have to enjoy your food. So I just thought I'd come on here quickly and say that enjoying your food is really important. If you're trying to lose weight, make sure you enjoy your food. It's like the number one most important thing. Nobody's going to tell you that because they might want to sell you their trash diet food or whatever, but you should enjoy your food because you need to stay consistent, and you're not going to be consistent if you feel like you're holding your breath. And I literally tried for decades to try to lose weight by holding my breath and like willing myself and motivating myself to do it, and it just doesn't work. Like you need to have a way of eating and a way of living that you enjoy, and it feels counterintuitive, especially when you are a comfort eater, because I was and am, I fight it every day. Oh, I'm glad you agree. As it's Shah, you have to like your food, and it has to be easy as well. Like you need to make the good, if you've read that book Atomic Habits, you have to make the good habits easier and the bad habits harder. So I don't keep like junk food in my house anymore. Like I don't keep cake, crisps, anything like that in my house, because when I was losing weight, because I had this massive monetary goal, I was able to have them in my house and not feel no way about them. I could just leave them there. They didn't call my name from the cupboards. It was fine. But I noticed as soon as I reached my goal, having crisps and biscuits in the house, it just doesn't work for me, because if it's here, I'm going to eat it. And in my brain, a portion size, did your shoe size decrease? Do you know what? This time, it didn't massively, but before, when I've lost weight, I went from a size 8, because I've got big feet, to a size 7. So I can wear a 7 now. So yeah, it's not that my shoe size decreased, just that when I was bigger, it's like my feet were wider, where I was like heavier in weight. So my shoe size did decrease a little bit just because it's not as wide, if that answered the question. But a lot of people, if they lose like a massive amount of weight, like if they were like 400 pounds, oh, yay, I'm glad to be alive. Yeah, if they were like 400 pounds, my computer's doing a madness. But yeah, if they're like 400 pounds, you're going to lose a shoe size. Like you're going to lose shoe sizes, especially if you have like, you know how babies have really cute little fat feet, especially if you have like those little cute fat feet. I think it will go down and then you'll be a smaller shoe size. But yeah, so I was just basically just saying how important it is to enjoy yourself, and how important it is to be kind to yourself. Like it's so important to be nice to yourself. Like, and I've forgotten that at some points this year. Like I've been really like just hard on myself, and it doesn't help. Like the harder that I am on myself, the slower that I go. And it's like a kid, like, I don't know if you guys have children. I don't have children, but I babysit kids. And when you're like super positive, you get so much more out of them. Like when you're like, oh, you're so amazing, you're so clever, I know you can do it, then they're like, yeah, I can do it. But if you're like mean to them, or you see other people like put them down, then they'll be like, oh, I can't do it. Like we're exactly the same. And when I started to treat myself well and say to myself, like in the mornings, I'd literally be like, come on, Mark, you can do it. And not to bring it up again, I know I keep talking about it, but my grandma passed away, and she was such a funny person. And I have terrible balance and mobility to improve Terrible balance and mobility. I mean, I've never experienced that, my honey. I'm sorry. Mobility in terms of being able to get up, yeah, like I can get up more easy. Like tying my shoes, I don't know about balance, but like tying my shoes, I couldn't do. Like one time I had to try to tie my shoes, and I was like, ooh, like, because my boobs and my stomach were in the way. So yeah, I would say mobility in terms of like just basic stuff, like getting up off the floor, sitting cross-legged on the floor, doing certain yoga poses has definitely improved. And I think as you lose weight, like it does improve, especially if you don't do too much. Like don't bang your body out. You're not an athlete. Like if you're going to do like mad amounts of cardio, mad amount of weightlifting, then maybe you're not going to improve your mobility. But if you are kind to your body and gentle, then you will. Yes, I agree. We started looking at myself speaking very lovingly. Exactly. Well done. And I think that is such a big thing. But I was saying, my grandma, so she, as she was getting older, her knees were hurting and she never wanted to use her hands to push herself up off the bed. And so one time I was looking after her, I was my grandma's carer for a bit. And she was like, her name was Ruby. And she used to try to get up like this by putting her arms like this so she didn't use them. And she just used her stomach muscles to get up. And one time she was like, come on, Ruby. And she pushed herself up and then she flopped back down. And then she was like, come on, Ruby. And she got up again and she did it. And like, that's what you have to do for yourself. Like seeing my grandma like cheerlead herself like that. It was so funny in the moment. And then like Jamaican accent, like, come on. But like in hindsight, that was positive self-talk. She was encouraging herself. She was being on her own side. And that is what you need. Like more than, it's so easy for people to dish out diet plans and tell you what to eat. But in reality, most people generally know what to eat, like fruits, vegetables. They know that those are that should make up the majority of your diet, protein, whatever. But like the side that people talk about a lot less is the mental side. The fact that you actually cannot lose weight and keep weight off if you want to continue the self-hatred or the self-sabotaging patterns that you have lived within. Because I don't think that you can be as overweight as I was and not on some level be punishing yourself or there's something awry there. Do you know what I mean? Like obviously there's some people that just really enjoy food and maybe they have no emotional attachment to it and they just eat too much or they eat the wrong types of food. But I think if you're on my page and if you relate to me, then you understand that food can have such a different role for some people, and for me it had way too big of a role, and I'm still learning to put it into its right place, to not feel as though food is this massive thing that should take up all of my life. Like I spent my whole 20s, like, just so you know, bitch is 35. I know I look young as fuck, but yeah, I spent my whole 20s and a big part of my 30s making food the center of my life, making my weight the center of my life, and making myself feel like I can't live out my dreams, I can't do what I want to do until I'm not fat. But I wasn't actually taking the steps to be less fat. I was just beating myself up and trying these really extreme things. And so it wasn't until I was just like, let me just try being nice to myself and calorie counting in a way that's not super extreme, when I got somewhere. And I definitely relate to feeling like food. Yeah, it's such like, exactly, it was such a big part of my day. Like everybody, all my friends know that I'm like, what are we eating? Like I need to know that. Like at the end of the day, I need to know what I'm eating. 2 weeks ago that I sabotaged my weight loss because I might feel fear. Exactly. Oh my god. Did you know what came up for me? Like I lost weight in my mid-20s as well. Like I got not as low as I am now, but I lost a bit of weight. And this massive fear came up for me of, and this is going to sound weird to some people, but of being visible to men. I was so scared of the attention that I was getting. It made me feel unsafe, you know, because I had these certain experiences in my childhood. It made me feel really unsafe. And I was like, I don't know who I am if I'm not fat. And I put on the weight so quickly. It was like I just grabbed it and threw it onto my body. Like that's how quickly I put on the weight. And so there's so much stuff to weight loss. It's not just, yeah, okay, I'm like, well, I'm not glad you relate, but yeah, I relate to you. Like, I need to try calorie counting, yeah, say nice things to yourself. And calorie counting for me, I like it because it just takes away me having to think about it. Like once I've counted it and I know it's in this certain range, I'm just like, okay, cool, I don't have to worry about it. Whereas like a lot of the time before I'd eat something, I'm like, oh, I don't know what's in it, I don't know if I've gone over, or it just takes away me having to think about it. And for some people, they'll be like, oh, it's obsessive. But no, what's obsessive for me, I know my own experience, what's obsessive for me is wondering what was in a meal hours later, rather than exactly, Nadine, like, exactly, like, for me, it was so weird. Like, as I got down to my goal, like to 150, I was having the worst nightmares, like nightmares about like my childhood. And it was, this is gonna sound so woo-woo, but I'm a hippie ass beach. But like, it was like some of my memories and some of my trauma was stored in my fat. I know it sounds crazy, but that's how it felt. It felt like as I was losing my fat, like some shit was going with it. Like, and it makes sense because there must have been so many times where I was so scared and I ate, and so scared and I ate, and like that feeling that I'm eating and pushing down, I don't know, maybe you know what I mean, like not literally, but maybe somehow it gets trapped. And that is something that people don't talk about, is how scary it is once you're in a thinner body to deal with the way that people treat you and to be so much more visible. Like, men are so different towards me now, everyone is, but like, yeah, especially guys, like they treat me so differently. And when you're bigger, it's like you're invisible. Doesn't sound crazy at all. Oh, thank you. I'm glad that you relate to it, because I feel like it's things that I don't hear people talk about that much. Some people do talk about it, but not so much. I think people talk a lot about what to eat and you know, how much exercise to do, and those things are a part of losing weight. But it doesn't really, to be honest, it doesn't really matter what you eat as long as you don't eat too much. It doesn't really matter what exercise you do as long as you do some. But it does matter you processing your emotions and your feelings and your trauma, because those are the things that actually keep you overweight. Because weight loss is actually easy. Weight loss is actually simple. What is not easy and simple is dealing with your emotions. What's not easy and simple for a lot of people, myself included, is your past, is your story. Your story can be so painful and so tender that you feel like you need that food to carry you through life. And I know that I felt like, do you know what, I've been through so much fucking shit that I can't deal with anymore. And so even just eating a normal amount of food felt overwhelming to me. It's like, I don't know, it's like if someone's been in the desert for like, you know, 100 days and 100 nights, they don't want to hear no more, like nothing about deprivation or nothing about not having. They want to have and have and have and have. And I think that's how I was. I was like, I had so many horrible experiences that not being able to eat what I want felt like another horrible experience. I was just like, I just can't have any more horrible experiences. I can only have, not joy, but I don't know how to explain it, but I just wanted to give myself everything. But in giving myself everything through food, I took away so much from myself. I took away so much life and so much enjoyment and so much confidence. And, you know, oh, this is why I enjoy your content so much. Oh, thank you. Yeah, like, I mean, I've done them all. Girl, I've done Atkins, I've done Weight Watchers, I've done diet pills. I tried everything. I felt like losing weight was like my mission in life. And I was just listening to some a sermon, and this guy was saying how sometimes you pray for something and then when you get it, you don't know what to do with it. And that is kind of how it feels like when you're like, I want to lose weight, I want to lose weight, I want to lose weight, I want to lose weight. And then you get it. What you have been through, what you've been through, no details. I don't know what you mean by that. Like, as in, what have I been through? I've been through a lot. Just, I mean, I want to say the usual stuff, but I don't know what people's usual stuff is. But abuse, you know, abuse, I'll leave it at that. And things that shouldn't happen to people, and things that I wouldn't want to happen to other people. But yeah, I have had to be my own parent and my own source of strength a lot of my life, and a lot of people have had the same thing, I know, and a lot of people experience traumatic things. But yeah, I'm just here as somebody who has finally I wouldn't say overcome them, but come to the other side of that, and also understood that just because somebody tortured me doesn't mean that I deserve to be tortured. And a lot of the behaviors that I was doing were torturous, and some of the behaviors that I, you know, It's very common you're strong. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. And you too. And my heart goes out to anybody who's ever experienced anything traumatic, because it's difficult, especially as a kid. You know, we underestimate how much things affect us. But anyway, yeah, I just feel like the main thing of this video, I didn't really know what I was coming on to talk about. My laptop is still trying to load. I'm gonna go on my other channel, my music channel, and do some songwriting once my laptop finally is alive. But I just thought I'd come on here and talk to you guys, because yeah, I just feel like it needs to be said, like, because people message me and people obviously struggle with losing weight just like I did. There's no shame in that. It's hard to know. There's so much conversation about it and there's so much information that it's hard to know what the right thing is. But genuinely, the right thing is what's right for you. The right thing is what resonates for you. And the right thing is what you can do, you know, in that moment. And then you can always make it better. You know, like, if you don't go in there with like this, oh, I have to be like what I used to do. I have to be a raw vegan. I have to be, I don't know what else. I'd just make all these things that are really hard, that were miles apart from what I was doing at that time. So like, I'd be eating fried chicken and then be talking about being a raw vegan. Do you know what I mean? And I would go between those two extremes. I would flip between those two extremes. Anyway, I need a front cover. So I finished my ebook and I've literally broken it down. Like, I've broken down every single thing that I did, because I need, do you remember those books that are like blah blah for dummies? Like, I needed a book that was like weight loss for dummies. Not that anyone's a dummy, but because I just found it so overwhelming that I needed someone to tell me exactly what to do. And that's what I, over the years, learned and was able to teach myself. Okay, you need to count the calories in your breakfast, like literally a day. You need to wake up early. You need to drink a bottle of water. You need to go for a walk. You need to come back and count the calories in your breakfast. Then you need to stop eating until lunch, count the calories in your lunch. Then you can go for another little walk or whatever. Then you need to count the calories in your dinner. Then you need to go to bed. Like, literally, I needed to have that written down somewhere so that I didn't go off track. Because I swear to you, there's one day that I was like, I'm on a diet. And I was at home and I was eating a Chinese. And I realised halfway through the Chinese that I was supposed to be on a diet. And it's so, because you practice those bad habits, or the habits that get you at a higher weight so often every single day, they become ingrained to the point that you don't even need to think before doing them. And so what you need to do, and this is what my book explains to you, is what you need to do is do these new habits every single day, so many times, so consistently, that they become your autopilot. That on autopilot you get up and go for a walk. On autopilot you count your breakfast, or you have a healthy breakfast. Like, because I know that I can on autopilot go into a binge. Like, any overwhelming emotion can come up for me, and then I'll just go into binge mode. And sometimes I don't come out for like 2 months, 2 weeks. I mean, now it's a lot less because I get on them scales, and the scales are like, bitch, we getting a little fat over here. So they kind of keep me together. But before, when I was big, I never used to weigh myself. I used to keep my scales like under my bed. Like, I didn't look at them. They were not what I wanted to look at. Did you improve your posture while exercising? My posture, I'm not gonna lie, girl, like, I haven't improved my posture. Like, the thing that improved my posture was yoga. So I used to work at a Bikram yoga studio. Yoga really improved my posture. That's just me personally. I feel like I've actually probably hurt myself a little bit. Like, I've had this shoulder problem since the new year and it's not going anywhere. I did just recently start working with a personal trainer, but I think you need one that really understands your body and like shows you how to stretch and stuff in terms of posture, if that's what you meant. Like, how to kind of be more flexible and like sit properly. I mean, I work from home, so I literally sit like a prawn on my laptop most of the day. So probably not the best person to talk to about posture, because my posture is trash. But yeah, Bikram yoga is what helped my posture. Hi everybody that's just joined. Can you believe that my laptop's still starting? I think it might be broken. But yeah, what else can we talk about? Give me something else. This is really fun. I should have gone live ages ago. But yeah, I mean, this is another thing that I put in my book, my ebook, and what day shall I put it out? I don't know what day to put it out. I'm like, do I put it out before Christmas? Because I don't know, like, I know that when I was bigger, I was like, I ain't trying to start a diet before Christmas, because that's little shit. But yeah, another thing I talked about was how, yeah, try yoga, and there's so many good things on YouTube, so many good, like I do this standing yoga series on YouTube. It's great. Sometimes I even do Bikram yoga. There's a thing on YouTube. It's good. It's such a good thing, and it also gives you like peace, you know. It's like a kind of a peaceful exercise, and it's not like a bang 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 like hit or going to the gym and you're just like trying to do too much. But yeah, so another thing that I put in my book was about how to maintain your boundaries when you're a bigger person and you go to the gym, because I used to go to the gym all the time even when I was bigger, and so many personal trainers would like come for me or just try to get me to do things that just were not comfortable in my body, and it would put me off going. So they'd be like, oh, you need to do burpees. I'm like, bro, I'm 18 stone, like 250 pounds, like there's no need for me to do a burpee. Like I'm just going to break my knee off or twist my ankle, that there's no need. And so I put a section in there just about standing up for yourself. Another no, there'll be no divorce of your bum. No, okay, so I ain't gonna lie, a lot of my bootiness is from fat. Like I'm at a higher weight than I was at the beginning of the year now, and I've got more bum, and it is from fat. But I think this is where weight training comes in. So if you don't want to lose your booty, you have to consistently train your bum and progressively add weights, and yeah, just go to the gym basically. So your bum's going to be smaller. It is. If your bum is majority made up of like, you know, fat, then you're going to lose some of it, but you can still build it and you can still have it. And also your bum's going to look bigger if your waist is smaller. Like, I don't know what type of figure you have, but like for me personally, when my waist is smaller, then it makes my bum look bigger. And also when I bang weights on my bum, then my bum just looks bigger. But don't be afraid. Like that's something that when I was first thinking about writing my ebook, I was going to make it specifically for black women. But then people were just like, bitch, why? And then I was like, actually, there are differences, but there's also so many similarities that it just didn't make sense. But I felt like there was nothing specifically for black women when it came to weight loss. But then somebody said to me, but you being a black woman is going to like make other people relate to you, if that's the reason why they want to relate to you, if you know what I mean. But yeah, anyway, so the reason why I say that is because I had a lot of people be like, oh, you're losing your curves, you don't even look like a black girl, you look like a white woman. I'm just like, first of all, everybody has different shapes and sizes. Like no matter what race you are or whatever, you can have any type of shape, so that's BS. And then also, I don't like the idea that for black women, our body shapes are so tied to like if you're black enough, like, oh, if you don't have a small waist and a big bum, then you're not a real black girl. If you're not thick, you're not a real black girl. If you're not this, you're not a real black girl. It's just like, no, firstly, you can't revoke my blackness no matter how I look. And then also it ties into this idea that it's okay for black women to be overweight, and it's not. Like there's so many preventable diseases that well, any woman, but you know, black women especially, like, oh, it's okay for us to be overweight because it's the look, it's for the look, you know. So don't worry about not being curvy or losing some of your curves, because the way that it makes you feel, I know the audacity, especially when I got an ass, but yeah, like don't worry about losing your curves, because I do really feel you can build a lot of curves in the gym, and then also you're gonna feel just so great. Like when I'm at like my fighting weight, like my good weight, where I feel like positive and like pleased with myself, like I don't give a shit about what any crusty person has to say. Do you know what I mean? And nobody worth your time is going to be commenting on your body like that. And the person that said that to me is just a waste man and doesn't need to be thought about. Like, it's just somebody that gives their comments and their, you know, opinions on things when it's not needed. Like, I don't need somebody to tell me how black I am or how good or bad they think that I look. Like, but that I'm just over here talking about my book, but that's another thing that I put in the book, was how to ignore people that are fucking haters. Because again, it's such a thing that I don't feel is talked about that much, is like how much like people's comments can affect your weight loss journey. So like I'd have people saying things to me like, oh, don't get too skinny, or oh, you think you're so good, or oh, are you gonna eat all that, or oh, you're not gonna eat enough, or just like commenting. And because I was already so wobbly, like a little Bambi myself, people's comments would really affect me, and I would find myself like eating with my family just to fit in, or like eating with certain friends just to fit in. Like, and obviously I clearly wasn't that resolute myself if I allowed them to knock me off track. But it is a thing, like people say things that can really affect how you feel, and especially when you're not certain yourself, and especially when you're doing something that isn't kind. Like So when I used to do like my extreme diets, it was so much easier for people to knock me off track because I wasn't confident in what I was doing. So I was probably thinking, oh, I can barely do this. I don't think I'm going to do it. I'm probably going to fail. So then when someone says something, you're just like, well, that's a nail in the coffin. I might as well just, not do it. So I think definitely now I feel a lot more like confident within myself, and I know that what I'm doing is correct, and I know that I've read so many books and I really understand nutrition from my perspective, and I understand how important it is for me personally to try to eat a plant-based diet, and I know why. I know, I'm not saying everybody has to do that. I'm just saying for me personally, like that's what I've decided, and that's what works for me in terms of what I've learned and what I believe. Guys, my laptop is still doing the madness. I might just turn it off. But I don't know if there's anything else that anybody wants to talk about. But going live is really fun. I'm going to do this more often because clearly I have loads of things to say. Clearly. And rather than bore my friends with my 20-minute voice notes, maybe I'll just come on here. Maybe what I'll do is I'll put a little question thing so I can see what questions people want me to answer, because I'm not somebody who, I don't know how to say it, but I tell the truth. Like, if I know the thing, I'll tell you the thing, and I've got nothing to like hide in that way. I don't want to like keep things to myself. Like, if something's helped me, then I'll let people know. If something hasn't helped me, then I let people know. And if I don't know about it, I'll say I don't know. I'm not one of the people that's going to pretend I know something I don't know. But yeah, I feel like being kind, enjoying my food is the biggest change that I've made. And no tea, no shade, I actually feel like being in lockdown and not having to be around people also really helped me to lose weight. So make of that what you will. That might mean for some of you not cutting people out, but like just be mindful of who you're around when you do your worst eating. Be mindful of what you've just done, or who you've just experienced, or what you've just experienced when your food is crazy. Like, do you know what I mean? So I started to notice, like, oh, after I see this person, I almost definitely always binge, or I almost definitely always want to do this. And sometimes, bitch, that person is me. But like, but a lot of the time it was certain people or certain situations or certain dynamics that just set me off. And it's like whatever made me feel unsafe, So your job, if you are an emotional eater, is to make yourself feel safe. And that can be with the way that you treat yourself, the way you talk to yourself, and also the people that you surround yourself with. Your diet is not just what you eat. Your diet is what you listen to, who you listen to, who has access to you, what type of social media you look at. Anything that makes you feel like shit, just cut it out. Like people, food, places, Instagram accounts, cut them out, because they're only going to affect you negatively, and it doesn't have to. Anyway, I think I'm gonna go. Does anyone have any questions before I go? If you've got a question, let me know. If you don't, oh, thank you. Shy Unique 127. But I need to sneeze. But yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. And then if not, I'm gonna take the plug out. I don't know what's going on, but you see how my grandma used to say, if she couldn't find her purse and she was looking for her purse to go to church, she would be like, Satan, give me my purse. And right now, I feel like Satan is overtaking my laptop so that I can't do my singing, because, girl, my laptop's never taken this long to turn on before. Anyway, it looks like there's no questions, but I'm going to put a poll. Maybe I'll start going live all the time, because I spend a lot of time on social media and I really want to stop that shit because it's really unproductive. But at least if I'm talking to you guys and helping people, then I'm on it for a reason. And then also I get to get out some of my 72,000 million words that I want to say every day. But yeah. Oh, Healthy Calfee is live. Yeah, go follow Healthy Calfee. She is excellent. She is a weight loss person. She lost 75 pounds. And she just... when someone just gets it, like they just get life and they're just on the right track. Like, she's only 24 and I don't know what type of guru status that this girl has already, but she's just so on it. And if you like tough love, or the perspective of somebody who's been through a lot, like she's had a lot of trauma, so she gets it. She's been a bigger girl. And yeah, she's really excellent, and she's got loads of YouTube videos, and she's on IG. But yeah, Healthy Calfee, as in like healthy and then CALFEE. But yeah, Love you guys. I'll see you soon. I'm gonna try to start on my laptop. Mwah. Bye.